They have policies that they understand. They have family and friends that they want protected too. They usually handle the needy clients we don't want to deal with. They have listened to insurance agents on the phone for years. You'd be surprised at how much they know. Hi, Therese here with Agency Performance Partners, and we're here to talk about insurance sales processes that anyone, even non-sales people, can do. As an insurance agent, we know many agencies where there is a receptionist that when a client walks through the door, the receptionist knows their name, knows everything about them, walks in and says, "Hey, so-and-so, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. So-and-so is graduating. Oh my gosh, your granddaughter, she's graduating. I remember when she was 3. So these receptionists have been in the office forever. They know more about the clients than we do. They've built rapport. And they've been in an office long enough to listen to insurance agents, and they probably know more about insurance than our new green staff members. We need to make sure that we remember that. And if they are not licensed, we think, oh my gosh, they can't talk about coverage. But to be honest with you, they kind of can't. They probably have more insurance policies than most clients because they've been working in an insurance agency for a long time. They've listened to insurance agents educate about coverage and talk about coverage. They realize that they need those coverages. Then they talk to a client about it. They can build up those policies to the client and educate the client, but they can do it through stories. They can do it through the stories of the policies they have and how they've used those policies. The problem we have is we overlook characteristics and traits of people who are not licensed because we know they can't talk about specific insurance products, while failing to realize they may be our biggest assets. What we fail to realize? They have policies that they understand. They have family and friends that they want protected too. They usually handle the needy clients we don't want to deal with. They have listened to insurance agents on the phone for years. You'd be surprised at how much they know. Just repeating that to get you to think about it. Think about it. They know so much, so let's use them. Let's make sure that they're talking to clients about other policies. Oh, I see you're paying your auto policy today. Do you rent or own your home? Because we'd love to cover it. I see that you have a lake house. Are we covering that? Or you have a lake house. Do you have a boat that we could cover? So there's so many things that we could do differently. And I think sometimes we get into bad habits. What these staff members know about these clients would surprise you. So much information. And we don't have all of their policies, probably because we aren't asking. These staff members can do so many things. They can cross-sell by telling stories. They might be able to upsell depending on what they're talking about. They may talk about state minimum limits because a regular person can know state minimum limits. They can get people on EFT and pay in full. They can get referrals. They can get reviews from clients, and they can share their stories. Now, we need to have incentives. Incentives don't always have to be money. It can be time off and fun as well. You can't expect them to hand over all of the information to another staff member who gets quotes and sells product and then not get anything for it. You don't have to pay for every lead, but a written lead would definitely be a good way to pay the customer service rep or the receptionist. You could always offer, massage gift cards, agency swag, a fun day, but make sure that you're incentivizing your team members and trying to get them to do this more, to talk about people. Now, you also have service-only people. Many of the CSRs that are only service, for some reason, they think all they can do is service work. In this case, are we asking them to do anything different? Yes, we're making it a little bit harder by asking them to cross-sell, but we need to require our service staff to ask for different pieces of the sales process. They can ask for their own reviews of their service. We can also ask them to cross-sell things the customers that they are servicing do not have. If we know a client needs another policy, has another policy with another agent, and we are not actively working to earn that business, we are definitely failing. We are failing the customer and we are failing our agency. So being a service-only person is no excuse for losing business for the agency. We need to look hard at these customers as part of our family and try harder to protect all of their assets. If we look in the mirror you look in the mirror right now, what coverages do you have? For yourself, you probably have auto. You probably have home or renters. You probably have life insurance. You may have an umbrella. You may have an inland marine, or you may have items scheduled on your renters or homeowners policy. So if we have those policies because we know we need that protection, why aren't we offering that to our clients? Why not? If we know it's important, why aren't we educating? Educate, educate, educate. And the way we educate is we show value for those types of policies. Now, the word sales can be very scary to somebody who's an introvert, to somebody who is not licensed, or to somebody who'd rather do service. Service is easy because service can be mundane tasks that they do over and over again. They get really good at them. And I know somebody's going, oh my gosh, this service work is so hard. Now, I'm not saying that some service work is not difficult. I'm just saying that you don't get a no, I don't want that policy. So it's easier to do service work because you don't hear no. Now, some service work, like having to requote, remarket, do renewal review calls, talk about discounts, that is a little bit more complicated. But the sales process can be a lot more complicated because you don't know what's going to come next. You have to just keep going and try to sell, and customers will say no. And we don't like to hear no. So we try hard to just do service if it's easier, but sales can be really easy if you get into the habit of basically just asking the questions. If you don't ask the questions, you can't get a no. And I just recently did a lesson about basically sales. Waiters and waitresses, they sell all the time, but you don't think of waiters and waitresses as salespeople, but they sell you all the time. The daily special, the appetizers, the wine menu, the dessert menu. Oh, would you like anything else? Would you like a dessert? They're selling you. McDonald's, they do. Would you like fries with that? You know how many more fries they started to sell when they started? Would you like fries with that? They must have noticed that people were just getting the burgers, not getting, and I don't even know if meals were offered at that time when they started doing that, but they must have noticed that people were just getting the hamburgers and not getting the fries. So they jumped into, would you like fries with that? And they sold so many more fries, it's unbelievable. But the reason why is because they started asking. So all we need to do is make sure we're asking the questions to get those cross sells. And what we're doing is we are protecting the client, and we're building up an agency that we love and that we want to grow. Now, if you have somebody that goes, oh, I'm just here to get a paycheck, is that really the staff we want? The ones that are just here to get a paycheck? Probably not. So we need to think hard about that. Now, introverts are like, whoa, I don't do sales. I'm an introvert. I don't talk to people. But usually the introverts are the service people. So they are talking to people just on the phone all the time. They just need to take advantage of the upsells and the cross sells. Your service people obviously are licensed people. So they need to take advantage of cross sells and upsells. If they see somebody with state minimum limits, they need to make sure they up those limits. You can have them memorize scripts, get them into good habits. So sometimes the habits are what need to change. Sometimes we've got agents that are working in agencies that are just habit. This is how they do things. Well, it may be time to change. It's time to update. It's time to keep up with things. And some of these older staff have to keep up with technology. So if they have to change with technology, it'd be great to have some fresher, newer staff come in and talk about the younger generations and how they can talk to younger generations. I've made charts to sell life insurance with keywords because you can't say life insurance to a 20-year-old kid. They're not thinking about death, thinking about life insurance. You have to talk to them about mortgage protection or covering their auto loan if they have an auto loan. So you have to look for what is important to those generations and use those keywords to get them to basically change how they think about life insurance. For somebody who is my age with a teenage driver, you need to talk to them about umbrella policies to cover them if their teenage driver causes an accident. It's great to have that extra liability. You can do products of the month. Just like a restaurant does the daily special, you can do, okay, this month we're talking about life insurance. Next month, we're going to focus on trying to cross-sell home policies. So talk about homeowners insurance or business insurance. So you can, every month can be a different product. Every week could be a different product. Or you could talk about, okay, this week we're going to update, when a client calls in, we're going to update the phone number. But technically you should be doing that all the time. Just switch things up and make things different. You are actively changing things to get your staff used to change and doing things a little differently. Challenge your staff to do all of the things. Challenge them to get 2 referrals and 2 reviews a day. Make it easy. Automate it, or give them a snippet or a little template that they can throw into a text message and send it to the client after talking to the client on the phone or after having a meeting with the client. That is great for just getting referrals and reviews. You can get stickers made that say, I love referrals. So when clients walk in to make payments and they get paper receipts, you put a little sticker on there that says, I love referrals. It makes people think, oh, I never thought about referring my insurance agency. We're talking here about a mindset change. You really need to do a mindset change. Staff have gotten into the mindset of keeping things the same way all the time. These ways have built bad habits, and it's time to change. One of my favorite quotes is, when you stop learning, you stop moving forward. Moving forward means you have to change and evolve with the industry and technology. Our agencies have to keep up with the times, and we have to train and educate staff to do that. There's so many agents that have been where they are for so long. So think about that. We need to make those changes. Think of a teacher. If you have a teacher that has been in the industry for years and years and years and years, they teach the way they learned it 20 years ago. They keep teaching that way, and they think that's the way to teach. But then you've got these younger teachers that have gone through school recently that learn all these new ways, group activities, and just these new cool ways of doing things. If the teacher that has been there for 20 years opens up to the new teacher that's teaching all these new strategies and learns these new strategies, then you've got a tenured teacher that is open-minded and making changes to make her teaching more interactive and more fun for the students. So kind of think of that with insurance agents as well. You want to get fresh and new information to help change the way you do things. Asking for reviews and referrals and upselling and cross-selling, it's not sneaky sales. Really, what you're doing is you're protecting the customer. You're protecting the customer and making sure all of their assets are taken care of. So that's the goal. Just take care of your customers' assets, but also remember that any insurance policies that you as an agent would need, you need to make sure that you're offering those and educating your client on those policies as well. Our non-sales people can do so many things. They can cross-sell, they can upsell, they can bring in referrals, friends and family, their friends and family, but also friends and family of clients. They can ask for reviews. All of the staff should be focused on both sales and retaining in one way or another. If an only sales department introduces the service staff to the client, that is the beginning of them helping with service and retention. Your sales staff should always be cross-selling, upselling, and trying to get referrals and reviews from the clients. You cannot grow if you don't ask. And remember, you don't need to pay for leads. You have a ton of clients that can be sold to that are right in your book. Monoline customers. Why do we have monoline customers? They have other things that we need to insure. So get out there and insure those monoline customers. Call your monoline customers. Get those sales going. This is the insurance process that we can use for sales for non-sales staff. Thanks for watching. Visit us at agencyperformancepartners.com. Check out our blogs, our 3-minute videos. We're here to help. How can we help train your agency today? Set up an intro meeting with us. Go on our website. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.